and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Motorsport for some racing. We have got a selection of A-class Italian cars, and we have the sort of spot on the grid that I dream of. It's a perfect place for my Lancia Delta. Well, I say perfect would have been front row, but we've got a super quick starting all-wheel drive machine in the rain. Front row, or towards the front, is fantastic. I'm hoping we can make the most of the all-wheel drive while tyres are getting up to temperature and maybe make a little bit of a break early on here. Mugello, probably not the best circuit ever for my Delta. However, the weather conditions are playing relatively nicely. So, A-class Italian cars, you could use whatever you wanted. The Lancia has recently come to the game, which is awesome. Now, all-wheel drive is not generally favoured, even with Forza loving to, when I do random weather, putting it in the rain, all-wheel drive is generally not the most favoured. However, I've taken a bit of a gamble with the Delta, because honestly, it does seem relatively good. This is pretty much an acceleration box at the moment. Let's say, at the moment, that is the style. It's not very grippy. It doesn't have particularly big tyres, and that seems to be very much the Forza way to make lap time. Give the vehicle sort of 315 and above tyres and you're golden. This is on 245, which is, I think, the smallest tyres I've used in one of these since maybe like a D-class event. It's got, tiny tyres compared to what I would normally run, but it has a near 500 horsepower V6 from a Nissan 370Z. And, well, all-wheel drive and a bit of tuning work went into the suspension to try and make it handle a bit better. It's certainly not golden, but it is a lot better than it was to start with. And it's actually, even in the dry, it's actually quite rapid, but it's not quite got the grip for that to try and survive. I mean, that was a little bit of a foolish mistake. Thought we could carry more pace through there than I actually could. We'll have Car Guy and Longbow have a fight through the final corner. Let's see who has more straight line speed. Now, apparently this Delta can do 170 miles an hour in a straight line. I'm not sure whether that is completely true, but it's certainly no slouch. Of all the cars I've built, this thing is one of the fastest A-class cars in a straight line. It's genuinely a little rocket ship down here. No idea where I need to brake. It's not great under brake. So one of the downsides of the very small tyres at the front is the braking. It's not got the braking performance, essentially. Now, can we get past the rear-wheel drive Lamborghini? I give it a little bit of a rub across the bumper there. Not what I wanted to be doing. I'm hoping just sheer traction is what is going to work for the Delta. I can boot it out of any of these corners, and there really is no problem at all for the Lancia. It has got just mountains of grip, as you would expect. Curbs, don't care about them. For those of you that watched the Ferrari 355 challenge race we did a little while ago, where we were very nervous and worried about curbs, this thing doesn't care about them whatsoever. It's got a little bit more ride height, relatively stiff still on the suspension. Look at Longbow struggling with a huge amount of oversteer. I'm going to go and put the Lancia to the inside. Now, I don't have as much mid-corner grip, but we can challenge that the Ferrari, the Dino, I think. But I couldn't quite make it stick there. What we're going to try and set up, I'm trying to set up, that's a little too much across the inside. What I'm trying to set up is a nice out acceleration maneuver into one of these corners. Longbow made a big adjustment mid-turn, and I was already committed. I wasn't expecting that. We can just get on the power here and go, but we are on the outside. It was a little bit dicey. We'll slide the Lancia through there. It's fine. The Urama's going to come out of all of this in front. Can we send it into the final corner? That was maybe a little too brave through there. Now, I think Longbow's car is quicker than both me and the Lamborghini in a straight line. That wide line, we're going to slingshot ourselves down towards turn one. Ferrari's got more pace. Ferrari's going to retake the lead of the race into the first corner. I've got more pace than the Lambo, especially with the Lambo not got any slipstream from the car ahead. I'm almost not too fussed about taking a big dive. My brakes aren't great. My grip isn't great. I'm not too fussed about a big dive into this corner, because all I'm looking for is get the power down on the exit of the corner here. We can't quite get ourselves there. I almost don't need to. We're trying to set up for a very similar manoeuvre to what we did last time. I've got so much speed, but I've got nowhere to go with it. The Lamborghini is in the way. And this is the difficulty that we have a little bit, is trying to find a way past isn't so easy. We've definitely got an easier car to drive than the two ahead here. We've once again got the power down out of the corner. Can we outrun? Don't want to go side by side into here. Haven't really got the grip to make that one work. We will just play it nice, play it safe through here. No need to do so. We're miles clear. It really is a 3-car battle up at the front. Gliska's actually doing incredibly well in 4th. They're at a Ferrari F50, not on race tyres, so it doesn't have wets, although in these conditions, not being on race tyres isn't as much of a hindrance. That F50 is genuinely pretty rapid in A-Class. One of the best A-Class kind of non-race tired vehicles we have seen here. Longbow got a little bump from the Lambo through here. We have just got mountains of drive over that corner. We've got a huge amount of acceleration. Longbow a little earlier on the brakes down there than either of us were really expecting. I'm hoping we can just boot it with the Lancia. It is that section there where we are very, very strong, but it puts us out of position. You know what? I'm going to jump there. We're not going to go for a pass, but I'm just going to do that so I don't clatter into somebody and fire them into the gravel. Cannot get through at the moment. They continue to battle for the lead of the race. They're going to leave a little gap for a Delta to shove its nose. We will go up the gears on the exit, and we are through on the Lambo. Longbow leads. Lancia is chasing in second. Where did that car go? On the exit, I am not sure. There may, I hope there wasn't some desync on that one, because we got to the inside absolutely fairly, and we got clear of it on our end. There was no contact at all, which makes me wonder either they had like a controller malfunction or there was some desync, and on their end I bumped them. Because, yeah, that is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate, because we were having one hell of a battle. Oh, got so much drive there. That's where we caught out Car Guy. That's where we caught the Lamborghini out. We've passed it once there, and that's probably where we stand the best chance of getting past Longbow on one of these exits of these chicanes where I can just mash the throttle and the Ferrari is sliding around. We are not going to... Oh, God, we're struggling to get it stopped a little bit through there. Got a little carried away. No real harm done. We can pull the car to the inside here. We can outrun the Ferrari, but I cannot... Surely we can't go around the outside of the Dino here. We're going for an absolutely mad overtake. If we can pull this one off, it would be at a... Oh, it's a bit dicey. Whoa. I mean, we were having to turn in, because we were kind of, I think what happened is we turned in, Longbow... we both got to turn in. I think Longbow may have lost the rear end and just slid a little bit into the side of us through there, which, you know, is understandable. It happens. We got away with it. We got away with it. The battling has let Steve catch up, which is a little bit alarming, though we have only got one lap to go. Now, we will... Oh, not... Now we've got to the lead. Let's not immediately stuff it up coming through this chicane. We cannot quite be as quick through there as I want to be. One more time around. Now, we could be vulnerable into turn 1. If the Ferrari is quick through the final corner, I don't mind running a little bit wide. We can cut back to the sort of late apex it and then use our traction, use our acceleration in the Delta to get away. Will the Ferrari be able to catch by the first corner? This is the real concern for us. We've seen the speed of the Dino. Here it comes. Here it comes. I do not want to give the Dino the inside line down here. Dino's on the brakes. We are both absolutely on the limit. Now, the plus point for me here is if we can get ourselves turned, I can get on the power. We can accelerate pretty damn well here. Can we accelerate clear of that Ferrari? Yes, we can. We are clear of Longbow's Dino. Now we can utilise our traction where we need it to be. On the exit of these, I say kind of chicanes. We've overran that corner a smidge through there. Carefully does it through that section. Steve has gained some time a little bit, but I think it's going to be too little too late in all of this. Gliska has just fallen out of the top 4. They held on for a remarkably long time, and fair play making that one work. We can just mash the throttle in the Delta here. Now, don't run out too wide. It's very, very easy to put a wheel in a gravel trap through this section. Certainly when I've got a lot of understeer mid-corner. An awful lot of understeer mid-corner going on, but we can manage it relatively well as we head through this next section. We've actually pulled clear of the Ferrari. I think we're safe from Longbow as long as I don't touch the gravel through there. We've got some pace now that we are in clear. Now that we're in clear air and not having to worry. I mean, we're not great. It's the long corners. The long corners are what really hurt the Delta. It struggles as long as there is a nice acceleration zone for it to utilize its power. That is the bit that matters. We will head into the final corner and accelerate away. It is going to be a victory for all-wheel drive. It is going, it is in the rain, but it's going to be a victory for the mighty Lancia Delta. What a battle! That was a great race, actually. It's a great race. I don't know what happened to Car Guy. If there was a bit of desync, I do apologise. That would be such a shame if that is what caused it, because we were having a hell of a battle. I will take that though. It took a while. It wasn't easy. It was honestly a really silly mistake from me at the very start that put us in the gravel, but we fought back, and the Lancia had the speed for a race 1 victory. So, in the rain, the Delta proved mighty, but what about the dry? Oh, and what about pretty much the back of the grid? This is going to be a challenge. We know it launches like mad, although I don't think it's going to be able to get particularly far up through the field. A lot of this opening lap here is going to be carefully does it, try desperately to stay out of trouble. That is pretty much, we've got a lot of very fast cars down here. So yeah, a lot of this is going to be just an easily does it, especially with my Lancia not being amazing under brakes. There's a little bit of checking up. I don't know. I was so busy looking at the cars directly in front of me, I don't even know what happened down there. Now, does the Delta outrun a 360 challenge? It does, in a straight line. Here comes the Gibble. And the Gibble with many speeds of the 355 as well, having a look. Not going to... I say not going to fight too crazy. Oh. As we go on the brakes, I was going to murder a car. So the pause... If I'm going to murder a car, you pause the car and you go into ghost mode and you stop murdering a car. It's a little bit cheesy. But the 430 Scud was having an issue through there, and I just didn't want to wipe it out any harder. But yeah, it was actually. I was expecting to lose a lot more time in that. It was a little bit of a sneaky save some crashes. Impega's got a bucket load of understeer through all of this. Can we? I mean, this is one of the toughest places on the track to overtake in anything. And oh. Okay, I've turned a bit too much through there. It's difficult to overtake. I'm not likely to have more handling than the 575, and if the 575 is not exactly your traditional handling car. Oh, the man of danger is here with another 430 Scud, although they don't have very much in the way of PI to play with, so that'll be on non-slicks. It'll be a handful through these corners. Oh, Danger Man got into it, so... Whoop. Danger Man struggled through mid-corner speed. I ended up... Well, Danger Man got a little bit close to Impeg and tried to back off, but I was directly behind the 430. So Danger Man backed off, but ended up just getting hit by a Lancia. So we then had to stamp on the brakes a little bit more through there. It sorted itself. It's resolved itself, basically, through all of this. Even if... it's resolved itself, unfortunately not quite so well for Danger Man. My brakes are not great. This is one of the difficulties with the Delta. It isn't great under brakes, as I said in the first race. The first race, it made up for that because of its just immense traction, because of the wet. Here we don't quite have such a big advantage. You can see our straight line speed in this. We are closing and closing and closing on a 575, but we are going to brake just a little bit early to make sure that we get stopped. Do we want... I mean... we might have even got away with first gear out of that corner. Impega got a little bit tangled with Chris's Ferrari up ahead. I'm not quite trusting my car through there. Definitely not trusting my car under brakes down here. The curbs, it doesn't quite like the Hockenheim. It's not the worst car I've driven over the curbs, but it definitely doesn't like them. We're going to do exactly the same thing again to Impega. It's not really the corner I want to be catching and battling that car around, but we are going to scythe our way past and move up a position here into 11th. There is a Lancia in the gravel. Almost did a Vettel down there. I think that's Shadow with a Delta of some description. We have got the acceleration, I hope, to fend off Impega. Now, Gliska's F50 is always a curious one. Very fast car, that one, but it is not on, as you said last time, it is not on race tyres. So it does struggle a bit in the corners. Impega is boxed in between me and Chris, but I do not want to go side by side into turn 1. Backed out of it through there, clobbered the curb and got launched sideways. Yeah, too wide into turn 1 is just a death sentence, especially with my car having a whole host of issues over the curbs. I just don't want to risk it. Impega is past Chris to the inside. My goal is maybe going to be past both of these once we get acceleration down. We know, well, we're definitely quicker than Chris. Are we faster than Impega? It looks like it. It looks like we are. Now, the thing I've got to be wary of is that 575 is better under brakes than we are. We have got to be a little bit earlier. Whoa, we're both struggling to pull it up in time. Down the... Oh, God, there's a Chris on the inside. Hello. God, my brakes are not good. I didn't even think I was being that silly under braking at that point. That was just the limit of what the Lancia... Really, the real limit of what the Lancia's got. Impega's carrying a lot more quarter speed through there than we are, although has gone wide into the next corner. It's going to get a little bit pinched by Gliska. We're a rally car, it's fine, it's less fine, it's less fine. Keep it, keep it, keep it, which is on the circuit. Somehow we made that one stick. That was madness. That was absolute madness, but we've made it work. We've found a way past Gliska. Don't think we're going to be catching the group ahead. I think we're going to be stuck in this little fight for a while now. If I can please slow down, Delta. We've got to not run wide anywhere. No mistakes for us here if we can help it. Ollie is continuing to lead the way. I believe that's with an Alfa Romeo Giulietta up there. Now, if we can be neat and tidy through these next couple of corners. I mean, we were neat, but the curb the bouncing around on the curbs is bad. Here comes Impega again to the inside at turn 1. Can we make this one work? Impega did leave us space. I kind of bailed when I wasn't totally sure on that one. It was more of a safety bail at that point. There's not quite the space for us to go there. There is a Gibble right behind us. You know what, I'll follow Gliska in the acceleration zone here. We'll get off the corner nicer. Look out for the F50 though coming back later on in the straight. We will now do exactly what we did last lap, and we will pass the 575, only to now be scared in the next braking zone. We will try and defend the inside. Impega's going to launch it. I think Impega's going to really struggle to pull that one up in time. They do. They might end up running the risk of losing a bunch of places. I really need to stop fighting curbs. My Lancia is way too stiff over those curbs. It just bounces around something crazy. This is a great little car. But it probably isn't the very... As I said, all-wheel drive is honestly not very good in motorsport. Here, the PI of the all-wheel drive cars is normally a bit exaggerated. That generally doesn't make them work amazingly well. That being said, this is by far and away the most competitive I've ever had an all-wheel drive car in a all-wheel drive only event. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant little A-class car, this thing. It is an acceleration box. It is not my normal handling box that I build. It just doesn't have the grip, but it is all about that acceleration. And I think if you're going to make an all-wheel drive car work, that's probably the way you're going to have to go. Is you're going to have to make it all about the acceleration, because I'm never going to be able to compete with that 575, for example, in the corners. So out-accelerate it, outrun it down a straight. As mad as that is, don't do that though. We didn't run wide, but we are going to be vulnerable again. We might just have the drive here to keep Impega behind. Impega is just going to launch it though. They know they've got the brakes to do this. That is the scary thing. Oh, they didn't quite get there. That's fine. I think we're very slowly catching the group. I think we could catch the group. I think me and Impega could genuinely catch the group ahead if it wasn't for the fact that we were so busy fighting one another. What will that 575 do in the braking zone? I'm going to have to defend. I know Impega's likely to send it down here. I don't think Impega's going to want to go for a similar manoeuvre that they did last time. It is still very, very deep under brakes. And we have that traction, although Impega's got great momentum this time around. It's going to go side by side. I'm hoping not, because I do not want a car on the outside. I have very limited amounts of grip if you're going to launch it around there. Impega is going to get clear, but he's going to run wide into the next corner. It's our turn to be... Oh, we're on the racing line. See, I thought it was going to be our turn to be on the awkward outside line. Not quite. We will hold on for now. Impega is still there, though, because we're good in this little section, this little acceleration zone. Oh, no. Back end got away from me. And we're gone. Not Impega's fault, that one, I will say that much. We were suddenly incredibly slow mid-corner. The back end just got away from me. Oh, Chris has gone off, kind of avoiding the rather spinning Lancia. Yeah, that is... I mean, it's unfortunate, because we were having a great race, but the back end got away from me at a really awkward little point. And yeah, we just couldn't gather it back up in time. So there was a limit of what we could... what Impega could do there, because I'm suddenly really slow in the middle of a corner where I shouldn't have been incredibly slow. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Great race. A little bit shame at the end, but that's how it goes with these. Ollie would take victory with the Juliet ahead of a Gibble. I mean, I think we had pretty good pace. I think we could have been fighting, maybe not quite at the very top cars. I think we could have been fighting in the mid-pack. But yeah, we had our own battle. We had our own battle around the top 10. It went slightly wrong for me, but the Lancia proved itself. Brilliant little car. Brilliant little car. It just went a little bit squiffy right at the very end. So there we go. What a crazy race. Well, this is a nice spot on the grid for us as we head into the third race. This is a lovely spot on the grid for us with the quick starting Delta. We've come to the Nürburgring GP circuit. I mean, the Delta is quick launching. The Ferrari is even quicker than that. We know the Dino, well, we saw Longbow. Oh, I've turned a bit too much through there. We saw the Dino be insane at Mugello. Longbow's one was very, very fast. Let's see what Carver's is like. I'm going to hazard a guess. Equally very fast down a straight. Problem bit for me is mid-corner grip isn't great in the Lancia, and while its acceleration is very good, it is probably not going to be enough to outstrip that level of straight line speed, although we are going to be able to put the Dino in an awkward place through here. We're going to make it go around the outside of there. It will be on the inside for the next corner. Can we carry enough pace on the outside line? We can. It is going to... I want to try and get across and crowd it to the inside for the hairpin, but I can't quite do it. I think Dino's gone a bit deep under brakes. We're going to try and cut underneath for the exit, which we will do, and we will get the lead of the race back, but I think it's only a temporary measure as we come up the hill. You don't really want to pass into this corner. It's a difficult place to go. It's a difficult place to go side by side. Here comes the Dino again. We will make our move early to just dissuade a yellow Ferrari from having a look. Park it on the apex through that corner. That's fair enough. And again, a little bit through here. I don't know whether we could realistically drive 5 laps like this. I think the problem is, it doesn't even matter. Even if we hold the Dino up, I didn't want to go side by side through here. Even if we hold it up for a while, I think ultimately it's just going to outrun us into turn 1 at some point. We will try and outbrake it into the chicane, which we do. On the acceleration we go. The thing that we get away with is if I mess up a little bit, the one plus point of the all-wheel drive is I can just boot it and go. Even though it's not raining, in the wet, I think that Dino would have more trouble getting past us. But even here, even if we like bounce a curb, we can still just boot it and go. Now, how good is the Dino? Oh, under brakes. We are going to absolutely launch this to make it work, and we do. That was the absolute limit of braking performance in a Lancia Delta to try. It is fight with everything we have got to fend off that Dino. Now, the tyres are going to be warming up for both me and that Ferrari. We've got Danger Man with a classic Ferrari F1 car, which is a brave choice, but Danger Man is making it work. Aaron's further back with a 360 challenge, I think. We are further ahead of the Dino this time around, and not having to defend this lap particularly crazy heavily up here. Let's not slide it around too much. Oh, doesn't like this corner though. Well, I say doesn't like this corner. Again, we can just jump on the power on the exit, and as fast accelerating as the Dino is, it's not fast enough to do that. Right, into the hairpin we head once again. We'll send the Ferrari the long way round. I'm just hoping we can pick up the throttle soon enough here. No, maybe not. Oh, I don't know, it's really close. Is Carver going to have a look? I don't think they're going to... Well, they have backed out of it. So I don't know whether they'd want to. They were almost far enough alongside that I was about to back out when the nose of that car dipped back. I mean, at some point... So you'll do that on lap 2. On lap 5, if we are side by side like that, I have a sneaky suspicion a Ferrari will not be backing out of that, and that would be understandable. We are going to have to... So, don't think they're likely to want to go side by side through here. They're probably going to be happy to try into the chicane again. Under brakes we go once more. See, the good news for me is we are just a little bit better than the Ferrari under brake. So, at the moment, I'm essentially wait for the Ferrari to put on its brake. In situations like that, my game is wait for the Ferrari to brake a little bit later. And that kind of works. This is the dangerous part, though. We will go to the wall, because they won't want to be all the way to the inside. And I think they've got the straight line speed, and now they're going to cross over. And now goes a really weird battle of the last of the late breakers down here between me and the Dino. Well, I can't... I mean, we could get on the power much sooner than them, but we weren't going to be able to get a pass. Now, my hope is... Carver's going to have to start defending. We've ran away from Aaron and Danger Man a little bit at the moment as they are having their own battles. So yeah, if we can keep making sure that Carver's having to defend, we were all up on our side and all over the place there. Yeah, if we make Carver defend, that will hopefully kind of kill their lap time a little bit with the Dino. Oh, don't want to be on the grass, although that Ferrari was not going to want to be as sideways as that through this section. Well, we're not close enough. They've got the power down. We might have just dropped out of a danger zone against that car now. We might be just a little too far back. But I think ultimately that Dino is slightly faster than me. It's a little better through the corners. The thing that I have going for me is traction and a little bit of braking performance. The thing it has going for it is straight line speed and mid-corner speed. Even if we can chuck it sideways up there, that's not really the line I want through that section. The only plus point we get back here is we do get a little bit of slipstream that can hopefully help us. I've got to now not overdrive the car. It's a really easy mistake to make. End up almost being goaded into overdriving when chasing a maybe slightly superior car. There is some big gaps in the field. I'm going to guess some big fights are going on further back there. So the Ferrari, I mean, we are going to have to try, push to the absolute limits. We are not quite going to get through there, unfortunately. That was a little bit too brave under brakes from me. We've got to try it at some point through this one. But the Dino's going to be out of range. It's going to be out of range by the time we get to turn 1. Big brave maneuver under brakes is not going to cut it here. What we're really looking for is the Dino getting into trouble, sliding about or anything like that. We are good these really low speed corners, acceleration zones out of here. We are very, very strong in, but it's even here when we are... I'm abusing track limits a fair bit here. It's even then, we're struggling, really struggling to make the Lancia work. I'm absolutely on the limit of what I can get out of this Delta. I'm on the limit and a bit over it a lot of the time here, trying to chase this Dino. What I will say is for an all-wheel drive car, this thing is actually pretty damn good. As we have said, all-wheel drive struggles in motorsport, and this is a genuinely very, very competitive all-wheel drive car. By far and away the best I have ever built on this game, and it is taking the fight to a Dino here. We are miles clear of Danger Man and Aaron now. We have absolutely vanished in this one, and I'm you know, I'm doing everything I can to try. I mean, we're within a second. We're within DRS range. We could do with it, actually. You know, anything to help. Try and catch that car. I tell you what, we're much better here than we were at Hockenheim. Much prefer this track. I mean, the flat curbs are probably what's helping us. Oh, no. I pushed it a bit hard through there. I think I have asked everything this Delta has, and a hell of a lot more in quite a few places, and I just cannot match that car. That is just too fast. Well, car, the driver, just too quick for me. We will launch it through there. The suspension doesn't really like it. We bobbled it and bounced it, but we didn't cut it that time around. But yeah, I can't do. Without Carver making a mistake, I cannot catch them here. They have just got too much top end. And while we're good in the corners, we're just not that good. In the rain, I think we would beat it. I think our traction advantage would be enough to maybe overcome it, or certainly to match it lap time. But yeah, cannot do anything about that car around here. I think, as much as I would love to be beating it, I think I might just have to settle for a second here and not run the risk of throwing. I mean, we have got a tremendous lead over the rest of the pack. Dangerman's actually done a really good job with that F1 car. When I saw that, I thought that was a brave choice of vehicle, and he's proved to be pretty quick. I mean, it's not matching us, but it has stayed ahead of the rest of the pack. So yeah, fair play. I don't know whether I say hopefully. You can kind of hope for a bit of a weird, mixed-up grid podium. Shadow's up to 4th with the, I think Shadow's in the Fiat 124, which is really the sensible option, very strong option for this category. Generally speaking, the faster drivers have gone for some more variety in cars, because that's just an easy one to sort of build for this. But yeah, I really like my Delta. I could get close to that Dino's lap time, but I can't do it consistently, and then I start running the risk of making really silly errors and putting it in a gravel trap or spinning it. And at this stage, I've given it everything we've got, and it's just not quite enough here. So let's just not do anything stupid and risk spinning it away, basically. That's kind of where it is. We're 8 seconds clear of the rest of the pack. We will get the car. Oh. Mostly slowed down for the chicane. That was a bit terrible, actually, at the end there, but it doesn't matter. It makes no real difference in this. We will head around the final corner. We fought off that Ferrari for as long as we could. It's going to be a really strong second place, though, for the Lancia. I'm very impressed with this car. Yeah, best all-wheel drive car I built for a class by an absolute mile. I mean, Jesus. Carver's almost in a 2:05.0. I mean, that 2:07 was an absolutely mighty lap from me as well. That was, I don't know if I could have got much more out of that car, realistically. That was an absolute full send lap, and yeah, that Dino was insane. Did everything I could. I think, in that one to realistically stand a chance. I don't know what's going on with this. I'd like to see the race results or something, game, but you've just decided, nope, race results for me. But there we go. That was a wonderful race. I didn't quite have the pace at the end, but I have really, as I've said, really enjoyed my my Lancia throughout all of this. Wonderful car, the Delta. So glad to see it back in Forza. But there we go. Well, there's no Danger Man, apparently. Danger Man's absconded from the podium celebration. That is going to be it for this video. If you would like to sign up to take part in the next one of these, you can via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the verse of the community sign-up section, and you can register to take part in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.